People love making favorite lists. The E! Channel has hours devoted to them, men's magazines, entire issues. Nick Hornby wrote a whole book based on this philosophy. Even individuals, whether they admit it or not, keep them inside, and they are frequently updated and extensively researched. When I was new to art school, both teachers and students tried to open lines of communication with discussions on their favorite artists. The difference here was that the reasons always seemed less arbitrary than why The Shawshank Redemption was your favorite movie or Marla Sokolov was on your hump island. Art was something more important, even if you couldn't explain quite why. We don't know how the cellular biology decided to create life, we just know that it did. I personally believe creative thought to be the most important thing that exists. It's what moves everything forward. The greatest scientific understandings, advancements, and technologies were developed and discovered by those who could think creatively beyond the limitations of their peer groups. And that is why I respect art so much. It sounds cliche, but art truly does open doors to possibility. And for an artist, the inspiration given by another can carry your entire being in a certain direction. Andrew Wyeth was one of those artists for me, and I still can't tell you quite why. I hate realism. Landscapes bore me, and when I think about the hundreds of paintings he created in his nearly century of life, I can only name 2. All I know is that when I look at any painting of his, I hear my mother's voice humming me to sleep when I was a child, or I smell my parents' house on Christmas morning. The tuning fork of calm rings softly and evenly. Whenever I'm asked who my favorite artists are, I take the high road, list a few, and give my reasons for each. But when I'm asked what my favorite painting is, I say Christina's World without hesitation. I first saw it in high school, and I always felt like it understood me. I'd look at the girl in the painting and be jealous of her. I'd see a confident introvert, content with where she was, but knowing that she has to get somewhere else. I have never seen it in person, and it is for this reason that I sneer when I hear MoMA. The first time I went to New York, it was the first stop I planned. After paying $12.95 to get in, anger-inducing because I still feel you should not have to pay to enter an art museum, but that is a different rant, I spent 45 minutes looking for it, only to be told that it was on rotation. How the hell is one of the most famous paintings in the world on rotation? I asked. All we have are the most famous paintings in the world, was the answer I received. And I walked out of the room, passing a framed page from Picasso's sketchbook on which he had drawn a pant leg. Anger-inducing because of the ridiculously rampant Picasso bias in the world, but that is also a different rant. The second time I went to New York, the entire building was under renovation. It still breaks my heart when I think about all the time that painting has probably spent leaning against the wall of a dark closet. I first saw Bonfire a few years ago. I was waiting for a friend in a bookstore, and as per usual, I went to the section with the coffee table art books. I saw a new one featuring Wyeth and began flipping through it. Towards the back, I turned the page to Bonfire and it practically reached out of the book. I was amazed at how recently it was created, and for only the second time in my life I felt like a painting understood me. I'm still trying to figure this one out. What is it about that swirling chaotic madness that's so beautiful? 2 paintings by the same artist could not be more different than these, and I am attracted to both equally. I have never studied formally nor was taught about Andrew Wyeth, and the little I know is what I've read surrounding the photos of his work. It is said that he was a very introverted, secretive person. He once had a series of over 200 works created over a 15-year span that even his wife did not know about. Something about this characteristic endeared him even more to me. As I said, inspiration, creative thought born of other artists has the power to make the world bigger, and carry you in a certain direction if it somehow speaks a language you understand. As an artist, the greatest contribution I will have produced with my life will be if I can provide this for someone else, and I mourn the passing of one who gave this gift to me. I never assumed I would get the chance to meet Andrew Wyeth, and now I never will. But hearing that he passed at first filled me selfishly with a fear that I might never understand why a part of me is the way it is. What comforts me is his answer to his granddaughter when she asks him why he no longer gives interviews. He said, "Everything I have to say is on the walls."